Hello and welcome. I'm Yusuf. I'm born in the Netherlands. I relocated 1 year ago to Turkey to work, and I'm working for MijoSoft as a developer. I will show you how to use MijoShop in Joomla 3.0, and we will see how will that go. First of all, we will need to download it from the Okay, after downloading MijoShop, we will have to unzip it first, as we have two packages. We have the component and the plugin to have the jQuery enabled on your front end. Otherwise, OpenCart won't work and you will have errors. So let's extract it first. So after extracting, we will have to install it as a normal Joomla component. As you can see here, it will give an error as the jQuery plugin isn't installed. After installing the plugin, we will have some steps to have the website visible. So the plugin is installed. As you can see, we'll go to Components and MijoShop, so we will have the admin panel active. It will give an error as you are using MijoShop for the first time. It didn't synchronize with the Joomla user database table. You'll have to do that first. So we press here, and now it's successfully synchronized. It will get all the users of your Joomla and will assign it as a customer or as an admin user. It depends on the Joomla user group. Now we will publish it on the menu on Joomla, so we can have a look on the front end. We have a list of the pages where you can show the users directly the page on Joomla. Like we have the My Account, the admin panel. It's actually the front end admin panel. So you don't need to give users permission to access the Joomla administration. Mostly the home page is being used by users to publish it on the front end. So we're saving this, and now it should be here. So this is our default front end. It has already two products inside with some descriptions. You can add directly refresh and everything will work normally. And if you want to have a look how the options are assigned to the product, then you can select this product. Here there are an option called color for a camera. There are two options, red and blue. If you want, you can tell the option to increase the product price, but normally now it's not without it. You can have a manufacturer link If people press here, they will see all the manufacturer published on your website. You can compare two products, and you can also add it to a wish list as if your product is not on stock, and so people will see the product later if they log in. So it keeps safe in the database. Let's go into the backend and add a product. Here the catalog menu. As a product always have a manufacturer, it will also need a category. So we are just first making a manufacturer. So we have a manufacturer name. We will just call it ABC. And if you want, you can have an image, or you can order the manufacturer from the manufacturer's page. So it will come on the first or the second. Normally it goes by ID. So we save it, and we go to a category. We insert the category. So this is the category insert page. It will ask for a category name and the description below. The description isn't required, only the title of the category is required. So we will just call it ABC2. And here in data you can have a parent category. You can filter categories with an auto, so you don't have to copy and paste the name. You can assign it to stores. Or actually, you can have multi-stores in one website. It will run on one database, but you will have two different web shops. So people will think that they are accessing two different websites, but actually you have one admin panel, and that's easier for a customer to have this on the website. And on design, you can override the layout of it. But that's more for advanced use of MijoShop. And we are saving it. So after saving, of course, the category, it doesn't have a product yet. So I will explain you the backend of the product page. We have the product name, and the alias and the meta tag. Meta keywords are just normal. So at the product name, we'll call it also ABC123. And here at the description, you can give more information about the product, so people will know how to work. And it uses the Joomla editor. So if you use another editor on your website, it will get the same editor as you always use also for your contents. So we will write here content. And after it, we go to the data tab. Here, there's a model of the product. So we will call that just 1, 2, 3. And we have the SKU, the UPC, EN, GEN, ISBN, MPN, numbers of the products, as some products has that. And you can also provide information about the location of the product and normally the price. So we will call it 100. You can assign it to a tax class, so people will pay tax on it. And the quantity, and we can say here, for example, that you have 99 products of this in stock. And for the minimum quantity, you can force users to buy minimally 10 products, for example. So below the 10 products, they can check out, so they can buy the product. And subtract stock means that when someone buys, it will automatically decrease the quantity to 98, 97, etc. So your availability of one product will be automatically created by MijoShop himself. So it's easier for you to have this enabled. And on the out of stock, if it's out of stock, you can here set status. So you can say that it takes 2 to 3 days to deliver it, or it's in stock. So actually the buyer thinks that the product is in stock, but it isn't. So that just depends on your needs. Or you can just say that the buyer is pre-ordering it and that it will take amount of time. We have here that says requires shipping. This can be used for downloadable content, like if you're selling MP3s or components, extensions, developer, you can use this. And if they don't require shipping, the shipping options won't be available for them, as it will be downloaded. It will automatically assign to the order and the customer. Here you can have an image. This is the first image that the people see in the category page. And so after it, it will ask for other images. Here we have a date available, from what date the product and will be published in on the website. So if you put this on the 18th of June, it won't work. That's why sometimes people are asking my product. I enabled the product, but it doesn't show. Here you can have the dimensions, the length, and the weight class for a product. If you're selling like big products, it might be useful to write this, as the customer knows that it will come and that it requires space while loading out from a truck or something. Linking the product actually to a manufacturer. It was called ABC, so we enabled that, and the category was also ABC. And if you want, you can have the same product displayed on 2 categories. We will do that also from the default category. So we have actually displayed this product on 2 categories. For a filter, you can enable a filter, so the product will be filtered. And you can also force the product to be shown in 1 or 2 stores. If you have a download added from the ad packet, I will show you that in a minute. Then you can assign a download to the product. And if you have related products, like I will say the Nikon is related to ABC, so that will show in another tab. So that will have the chance that the buyer will buy the same product and also the related product. So it will make more incoming for the shop owner. Here you can have attributes. Attributes are being added from this page. I will show that in a minute. And options, like we had with the camera, you have the red camera and the blue camera. You can have the same. So we will also make that available. You can have discounts for a group of customers. So, by example, if a customer is, it will show the normal price, but if you have a normal buyer who is like your friend and you have like a lot of friends, you can make one customer group, and if they log in, they will see a different price. At special prices, you can give a range of time that will be available for the users. So let's say that you have a product and it's out, and you give the 1 week opportunity to put it like €10 cheaper than normally. You can have that. At the image tab, you can add more images to a product. And at the reward points, you can have the option that the default customer group all the customers from the default customer group get 10 or 20 or an X amount of reward points added automatically to the account. Or you can have, you can force people that they will require reward points to buy this product. So you can have that, and that will mean that people should buy first a product with reward points, and after they could buy this product. In the integration tab, you have, as Dennis told, the integrations. We have here the Joomla ACL, and you can add automatically after purchasing the product that user to a group. You can also have it assigned to an email article, a MijoShop group. As I don't have installed the other extensions, it doesn't show. Might be a problem. Let's save this. And we go to the home page of MijoShop, and we see that we have the category ABC, and the product is called ABC2. And now we can see here that we assigned one related product. As we didn't put an image, we don't see an image. And here we can add a review. Automatically non-displayed, and it has to be approved by the website owner. And we said that you need the minimum quantity to buy 10, otherwise you couldn't check out. So if you write here 1, you can't check out. And this way you can give special prices with more quantities. And the description is just the normal description what we read. Let's make an attribute group first. So we have here the attribute group name. This will show some information or specification from the product. Like, let's pretend that ABC is a camera. So we'll say megapixels. And we'll save that. Oh, that's good. Let's just say megapixel. And here are the attributes from the group. You right here, save. It will show in a single tab. And what does it have? Memory. We have memory already. Memory card. Slot. Now we have given 2 attributes. Let's assign it to the product. The attribute was called SD card. We can say here yes or no, or we can say you have to buy another component to the camera to have that enabled. But in this case, the camera has a SD card slot. And with the other one, the megapixel, let's say that the camera has 18 megapixels. If my number is on, I can use it. So, yeah. And we save this. And we refresh it on the front end. As you can see, it has now a specification tab. And you can see here more information about the product. Of course, if you want, you can override the language, so it won't say specific attributes or something else. Here you can add options. Option has to be always added first before assigning to a product. Let's call this language. Maybe the ABC product is given with one language. Let's say it's an English version. And there's a Greek version. And we save it. And after it, we will assign it to the product. Here on the options tab, we can write language, and we can force people to use one. So we'll say that the English quantity is 15 pieces, and the price will go up with 10. Greek version, we have 50 of them, and it's just the same price, so people will buy this faster. And if we refresh it, it says here the English and the Greek version. So people will have to choose that. Let's make a download. Assign to the product. Here we can upload, let's say, this PowerPoint. I love it. Save it. Zip. So we save this, and after it we will assign this again to the product. So after ordering and purchasing this camera, the user will have a manual directly assigned to his account, so he can download it after he purchased the product. When he's waiting, like for one day or something, he can read the manual and have more information about it. Let's say that someone is writing a review. His name is like Tony, and he's saying that the product is so great, and he's testing that a lot of time, and he thinks that's the best product. And left to right caption. Thanks. Let's say the same. Try it. And now it should work. Yeah. So it is actually not published directly. We will let's publish it by ourselves. Reviews. We can see here which person has rated which product and when. So we think you can manipulate here the review actually, but it's easier for yourself. So you can have more stuff. We can enable this. Now it should show on the front end. As you can see here, it has directly 5 stars. And you press on one review and you see that Tommy said it is so great. And even if he says that it's not that great, you can just write it's great. You have here the information menu in the backend. You can edit the About Us links in the footer here. But let's say you think this footer isn't that great. Use the MijoShop footer, the Joomla content, and you have it in the custom HTML. You can just disable that this footer won't show. But let's pretend it's great. So we edit one. You can just write like something. And here at data you can assign it to a store and display it on the bottom footer. Let's save it. Now if we refresh. That's the same with the delivery information, privacy policy, and terms and conditions. And if you press continue, you go to the home page of the website. And that's actually the catalog tab. If people have questions about this catalog tab, please raise your hands or just yell while talking.
First, about if you have many categories.
Yes?
Of the product, if you want to go to the product, to edit the product.
Edit, okay.
And if I have to assign this product to many categories, and I don't remember the names, is there a drop down?
No. But there is an extension, as most in OpenCart has like, as Dennis said, like over 6,000 extensions, and surely someone else has thought of it, so he will make an extension.
Because sometimes I can't remember the name of the category.
Yes, but if you have a lot of categories and you'll have the here, it may slow down your edit page as you will load every name, and while you're reading it, it will just read the and run the SQL query with the letters you type.
So just not only categories, there are some other places that you may have to input
The letters.
the letters, yes. So does this extension make to all the drawdowns to the other?
Yeah, it depends, but I'm almost sure that there is someone else already made the same drop down for filter, categories, downloads, related products. Oh, it has the feature for the other parts too, for downloads and the other links.
Greek translation?
Sorry?
Greek translation?
Yeah, it has a Greek language file, so you just install it and it's Greek in Greek.
It has a latest version.
Sorry?
It has latest version. The one for some.
Yeah, but with languages,
It is the same.
it is the same. With languages only. With extension, it isn't, but with languages will work. And it may be that some parts aren't translated, so you just copy it from the English and then change it to the Greek. It's easier for yourself. But the most parts are being done if it isn't the last file. So let's go to the localization tab. This is like the hardest part of OpenCart's workflow. It has like taxes, languages, currencies, length, weight, classes, everything. So let's see. Yeah, languages. It's normal. You just insert the language. If the files are there in the folder. You can have the euro, and here it says that the dollar is default with a value of 1. So every price you write in the product edit page, it will be shown in dollar. So if you want to add another currency, it will, like the yen or something, you will have to give the value of the dollar, because dollar has one. So it will calculate from dollar to the value what you have written.
If one can use it euro instead of
Dollar, then you just have to make the value of euro 1 and assign it, edit it like the default currency. You have stock statuses, like if you want to show another text here. Order statuses. I don't actually recommend to change this, as sometimes people just don't know what they do and they can break. But if you want to change it, it's okay. And if it doesn't work, just hit us a mail and we'll look at it. We have the return statuses. You can make automatically a return inside MijoShop from the front end. So if a customer has bought something and it doesn't work, you can just return it directly. You can here change these statuses. Here, like if the administrator says it's refunded, then he can have a note. And if he has always to write another one, it's easier to add a return action. And the reasons, of course, for the user, like it's dead on arrival, so it came dead. It's a faulty, or I ordered the wrong product. It's a little bit stupid, but or other, and then he will. He has to write the reason, or he received the wrong item. So the store owner there made the mistake. You have the countries here. You can enable, disable the countries. It has to be done one by one. So if you only want to send items to Greece, you have to disable all the countries. But of course it's easy to do that with the SQL command or an extension. You have an extension for that, so no worries. Oh, we have that already directly on our website. You can download it and install it directly. We have the zones of the country, like a lot. So if you want to add a new zone, if there's a new zone somewhere, you can just add it and assign it to the country with the zone code. Of course, this requires by some shipping methods like FedEx that requires the zone code. It doesn't work with zone names. So let's go to GeoZones. Here you can have the zones attached, assigned for the text classes. Like let's say it's US and we do description is USA. And the GeoZone. United States. You have all the zones here. I don't know which we will see. We will add 3 zones. And we will go to taxes. We have 2 different options for taxes. You have the tax class and the rates. It's always easier to write the rates first. Like the tax USA, and the tax rate is, let's see, okay, first we insert the name, like tax class is 5%. We write first the rate 5%. So you have to make the rates one by one for every state in USA, in these states. So based on payment, shipping, or store address of the buyer, and the priority, you can just leave that empty. So let's do that. The tax name will be Alabama tax. The rate will be, like I said, 5%. And it is being attached. So we save this first. I don't remember what the other two zones were, so I'm just using this. The other places have to pay more tax, so you have to pay 10%. This place is rich, so they pay more tax. After adding those tax, we're going to classes. So inserting one tax class named USA, and we add a rule based on the shipping address, or actually the buyer tax. And it's only for Alabama tax. And we add another one, like for the other two places. And so you can have like one, you can say that this is the first priority, but mostly works without writing the priority, and it looks to the payment address. And after you have done this, you have to assign it to the product. You say that it's the USA tax class. You save it. Now it should be seen in the front end if you buy this product within that zone. Before that, we will have to look up to the modules, shippings, and payment methods, so we can have a better look of the modules system. But in the localization, you have just a link in the weight classes. Like if you don't use grams or pounds, you can use something else. But I don't think people are using that. So we have the account module. Let's say, first I will show it. This is my account page. I will need the email address to log in. What email address? So this is the account page. We can have this in a module, so we will publish that on the home page, so the user doesn't have to go to my account page, because you don't want to show the we add a module to the home page, and we want to show it on the left side. We enable it, let's save it. Now it's here. And if you want, I can show it also. We will publish it as a Joomla module, so it will be shown on every page. So that before doing that, you will have to give the Joomla module layout. Let's save it. Go to the Joomla module manager. Add a new one. It's called the MijoShop all-in-one module. The title is account, and you want to have it on position 7. 3D option, you can give a class suffix, just a normal Joomla. And here you will have to search for the module you have published. And then save. Now it should be shown here, so it's not here. So it's actually now a Joomla module and not an OpenCart module anymore. And this works with every extension of OpenCart. So if you have downloaded a nice like slideshow or something, you can show it inside Joomla, in the Joomla position. And if we take a look at the modules, which we have the affiliate, banner, bestsellers, carousel, the categories, and the categories wall. This is the categories wall module, and the categories module is just lines of text, nothing fancy, but it shows. And of course, on the OpenCart extension directory, you have with the nice drop downs and some more fancy stuff on it. The future tab module, it's here. You will have to assign the product manually. So let's say ABC is that's future. It will show here. We have, let's see, the filter. That's if you have more categories inside, you can directly filter those. The Google Talk, if you have live support through Google Talk. The information module, this is this 4 lines. And the latest, so it will this module will be automatically updated. So if you add a product, we'll automatically add the product. And the login, so you can only log in or log out through this module. The manufacturer, so it will give the list of the manufacturer in the e-commerce website. The shopping cart, that's a normal shopping cart. The currency is this currency module. So let's pretend that you don't want this header of MijoShop, but you want the currency and the shopping cart, because this is nice and it's Ajax and it's automatically updated and you like it a lot. You can use those two modules to have it enabled. We have the default slideshow. It's not responsive for something, it's just a slideshow. It shows pictures and you can link them to a page. You have specials. So let's say that product is for 1 week $10 cheaper or €10. It will automatically show that product in the module, and after a week it won't be displayed in the specials module because it's not a special product anymore. You have the store, so users can switch stores. I don't know if there's in Greece e-commerce website, but there is one in the Netherlands. They have like 21 websites and they are all linked to one database. So they're just having one. Okay. You have the VQ manager. It's actually a useful thing. I will show that also. And the welcome, you can just write something, text about your web shop. So let's disable the header and the footer. So you only have the content page. So we'll be done through the settings. So I can also explain you the settings. This is the setting page. Here you can insert a store. Actually, you're making a new store. Here you can provide some information about your store, like a name, owner, the address, the email, telephone number. This email is being used for the contact form. So if this email isn't good, you don't receive any contact. Here in the title of the store, what's shown here. The meta tag description, the template. So MijoShop also has a template if you want to override some stuff. Please don't use the default template, because if you upgrade MijoShop, all your modifications will be gone. Just make a new folder and use that for customization. And the default layout. You have the local options, where your store is being settled, and the region, the language. So if you have also Greek language, you can use the Greek language on the front end and the back end English. The default currency, yes, and if you want to update automatically the currencies, the default length class and the weight class. If you go to options, you have all the options for website. Here you can force the category page to show X number of categories, and this is in the admin panel. So let's say you have 21 products. It's not useful to have 2 pages, so just change this and show. This is the category product count. You can show how many products you have in a category. You have the LO reviews and the downloads, so you can disable those. Here you have vouchers. You can give minimum and maximum. Those are the default settings. Of course, you can override them later. The text classes, display prices with text, and also you can have a validator. It will only validate the VAT number of the European service, so it won't change directly from taxes or something. It's just the number and the tax address, or the customer tax address can be set default through here. From the account, you can show everyone how many customers that are online, and the default customer group, and you can have the display prices. So let's say you have a very special web shop and e-commerce website, and you don't want to display prices to anonymous. You just turn this on, and without logging in, they can see the price. Account of terms. This is actually one of the important things. Like you have this thick box you have to accept, and you can show the privacy policy for that. So you'll have to write the privacy policy, and you can show double ways. Checkout, you can display the weight on the cart page, and you can allow guest checkouts. So don't have to be logged in. You can just guest checkout because he needs only one product, so he doesn't have to make another user. The customer, the checkout terms, the terms and conditions for the checkout. The order editing, you can here set the default the order editing days. So let's say you only accept 30 days for returns, and you don't want to edit it, so after 100, just write it 30 and it will work. The invoice prefix, so you can have automatically invoices for a product. Default order status, and the complete order status. And here you have the stock options. Display stock quantity on the product page is set to no. We can set it to yes later. Shows out of stock warning to users. So let's say your product is out of stock, people to check out, so to buy them. Actually, you're selling a product which is not in stock. If set this to no, you can just think the user is is buying a product which is in stock but it isn't. And if you set it to yes, he can check out. Here, this is the option, and here it will show only the warning message. And the out of stock status. MijoShop also has affiliate commission options, so you can set here a commission affiliate, and the terms you can assign to an information page. Let's say you don't want to use this, you can just add another information page through the information tab, and for the returns, force people to agree. So you can say, let's say you have a returns policy, they will have to accept it before they can send something, and the default status of the returns. The store logo, which is provided inside the invoice, the receipt on the email, and here you can change the image sizes. Let's say 80 by 80 is small. You want to buy 300 by 300, and then you write the product image thumb size and the product pop-up size. Like you can change this size and also this size. The product image list size and the category view. Additional product image sizes, those. Related product image sizes, let's see what this is. Let's see what this has related product. But we can add it. Compare image sizes. So if you are comparing two products, you can have, and both have an image, you can force it to show like same on the wish list and on the cart, shopping cart, people will see the image too. So this the FTP tab, nothing special actually, just FTP and the mail settings. Let's say you don't want to use mail but SMTP, you will have to write all of this. But use the default mail works. Here you have the fraud tab. You can use the fraud maximize detection. You will need the license key. And this is the server tab. So let's say you want to use SSL. You will have to enable it here and also through Joomla. Here you can set if you want to use shared sessions through cookies, if you have more stores, and those are the user agents, the robots. Allow file extensions if you're uploading files through the backend. Allow the maintenance mode, so actually everything is online from Joomla, but only MijoShop is offline. Allow forgotten password. You can set this yes or no. The encryption key. This is the key how an download is being named. The download, I will show that. So the download name is it's not the zip file, but it says an encryption key, the key in the back. And if you change this key, it will encrypt it with another key, and the output will be different. Output compression level for gzipping those files. If you want to display errors, you can display them, and if you want to log them, it's also useful. Or the Google Analytics. Here you have the MijoShop tab inside settings. This the personal ID is for updating MijoShop automatically from our server. And if you want to enable the Figma cache, you can enable it from here. Show header widgets, we don't want that. And the links also. Show the categories menu. This is actually from the default OpenCart. It has a menu here. I will show it also. If you want to load plugins, so for example, the all videos. If you want to add a video inside the description, and you put, it will load the plugin from JoomlaDay. Fix EA caching issues. Internet Explorer has problems, so if you have problems, just make this to a yes, and mostly it will work. The default product display list. If in a category you have two views, you have the list and the grid. So you can force a user to have it displayed. For example, enable comments. It has integrations with two comments, G-comments and Commento, so people can comment on a product. If you don't want to use the reviews, but you want to use the comments, you can use it that way. But I recommend to use the reviews because it has stars and it shows directly on the category page. And you have the MijoSoft integration. If you have installed it, you can integrate it directly, so you can have custom URLs, meta tag, keywords. Let's save this. Now we have the menu, but the links and the currency and the shopping cart is gone. So I have only one, so I will enable the other one too. So it's also here. And this one is with a drop down automatically, so if you have a parent, so it will come up. So let if you go here, set the product to cart. When we go to the shopping cart, you will get this view. There's the image, the product name, the module. The quantity, unit price and total, and here you can tell customers to have the coupon code or a voucher, or you can make it calculate the shipping and taxes. You can enter a coupon here and it will automatically subtract from the product price. Let's see if we have a coupon. Here it subtract 10 USD, so the product only costs $70. Before, of course, checking out, we will have to have a look at the shipping options. The default shipping methods are Australia Post, CityLink, FedEx, flat rate for just providing your own shipping method per item. So if you have 10 items and one item costs like $2, it will just make the calculation and provide the total. Parcel Force 48, pickup from store, Royal Mail, UPS, USPS, and weight-based shipping. And you can enable or disable those. Of course, there are more extensions, shipping methods through on the OpenCart extension directory, so you can enable those too. And payments, quite a bit, so we will have a look at it. order totals. Let's say you don't want to use coupons or credits, handling fee, Klarna fee. You can just hide those, and those won't be calculated also. And in the product feeds, you can automatically make it with Google Sitebase and Sitemap. But you will have to install and configure those. So let's check out. As we are logged in, but we don't have an address, so we will have to write it. The guy whose name was Tony. Let's say his surname is ABCDB. And he lives on street 12. Simply somewhere. Passcode is 12345. And he lives in the region. Of course, this will work because we have just a normal shipping method. But if you're using like UPS, this won't work, as this isn't a valid postal code. So we continue. And here we can see that it has added another address, so we can use that as our payment address. So we use the flat shipping, and we'll pay at delivery. And this is the terms and conditions what I've talked about before. So we say continue. And here he has a total before confirming the order. So this is the product. And this is subtotal, Ecotax, VAT, everything, and he confirms. He will get this page. As I said, if the product is already assigned with the download, you can go to the downloads page and look at it if the order is completed. But delivery, so it should be pending. We can look at it at the orders tab. Yeah, it's pending. Customer's name is super user because it comes directly from Joomla. Date edit and modify. So, want to look at it? You can here edit. Let's say his name wasn't with the Y but I. We can edit it here for the shipping details and payment details. Here we can look at the product we have purchased and the vouchers and the totals. This is for editing. And if you ever want to change the status, you don't need to go into edit. Just go to history, change the status to complete, and here you can notify the customer, so it will get an email like he has paid. So let's say he's on cash on delivery and you receive the payment. You can add this to it. And now the order is completed. So you can look at it through here. It is completed. And customer can look at it later, or of course you can reorder the product. So let's look at that page. So we see this is actually also the email what is being sent through MijoShop. The Nikon is dead on arrival, so he wants to return it. But he will need to provide a telephone number. The caption. Here you will have to choose something, but we said that it's dead on arrival. And the product is of course opened. Continue. And only being added through the backend. now the administrator can look at the backend to returns, to look at the order, why it has been returned. Let's view it. Okay, so the product was the Nikon and the model was 4, the quantity and the reason, and we can look if it's opened or not. Of course, let's say the store owner has received the product, and he can here now change directly the status of this return action. So let's say he send a replacement, this will automatically modify the return, so it doesn't need to wait. And here you can, of course, set it to complete, notify the customer and say replacement has been sent, sorry, or something, and then add it to the history. We have a look at the customers. Here we can see a customer, an IP. If you want to ban the IP, you can ban it directly. And also, you can make customers automatically not being added, but you will have to approve those for a special group. So let's say for the default group, you want to approve new customers. You want to, it is being assigned automatically to the register. So it will also open a registered user, the customer group name, the description, and here display company number. This is while checking out. The company name is required or not, tax ID, and if it's required. So let's save, and if we log out, we will test to register the user. Last name. Email is he doesn't have a company, so he just writes his address. This one lives on 19 city. Let's go with this. Something like this. Here, and the passport is and here you can make him subscribe or not. You will have to choose one. As I think there is a new law about the newsletter. You will have to make the customer to subscribe and unsubscribe by himself. So that's why it's here. So we continue. And we will get automatically output. So we look at the customers. Isn't approved because we enabled that option. So we are approving him. It will work. And here, of course, log in into store if you have more stores. So it's sales. Also the banned IPs. If you ban a customer, it will show here. Or you can insert one. Affiliates. If you made any affiliates through MijoShop, it will show here. Coupons. If you have other coupons or you want to edit those, you can have a look at it. I will insert one. Let's say the coupon is JoomlaDay. And the code is the same. Maximum only 10 characters, so can have a percentage or a fixed amount. The discount, let's say 5, so it's 5%. Total amount must be reached before the coupon is valid, so let's say you can only use it if you're checking out with something above $500 or euros, depends on your default currency. And if the customer must be logged in to enable free shipping, here you can assign them to specific products. So let's say it's only valid on Nikon or on a category, the date when the coupon starts and it ends, and uses a coupon, so one user can only use it once. No, this is for the total and this is for the customer. And status if it's enabled. It says that we have also the gift vouchers. If someone has bought a gift voucher for someone else, you can see them here. And the voucher themes. This will send directly the voucher, then birthday, you can add an image. So the receiver will directly receive it with the on the gift voucher. And we have the mail tab on sales. Let's say you want to send a mail from the default group to, let's say, products. And let's say everybody who bought the Nikon can buy another SD card or MMC card for the Nikon especially with 20%. So you can make here the subject and the message, and you can send it to all the persons. So only Nike receive it. Or of course, newsletter. You can send it directly. Are there any questions about the sales? Yeah.
If you're using PayPal in order to make a sale, when does MijoSoft consider the sale complete? As you're about to go to PayPal, or after you've logged in and made a purchase, you come back to the store?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Okay, let's say you purchase something only PayPal as your process.
Yes.
So you're at the card, you say okay, then you hit proceed, and then you're
Being redirected to PayPal.
PayPal, right? When does the software consider the sale to be complete? After you come back from PayPal?
After when you come back, when it hits the callback URL,
Yes.
then it will look at the order ID and if it's paid, and if it's approved by PayPal. So it will go to the order status, what you have inserted here. I will show this with the standard one. Standard. Here. You have these statuses. So if it's complete, so PayPal has approved that it's paid, you can set it to complete, so it will be automatically given the complete status of that purchase or the order. And if PayPal sends another status, you can add them here. Are there any other questions about this?
And the big shipping companies, when we can add them for the people to choose to send them the product?
Yeah, by the shipping. If you install the extension from the OpenCart extension directory,
So we don't have.
you don't have
How do we do that? How do we install the OpenCart?
extension. Go to opencart.com. Go to and here you have 9,035.
Okay, we download some. How we install it?
Yeah. OpenCart doesn't have an automatic installer, So you most of the times you will have to upload it, or if you're lucky and it's a VQ mod, you can just install it directly through the backend. But most extensions require some PHP files, so you will upload them by yourself. It's like a zip, and they say like put this in the catalog, controller, account folder, and you just upload it here, and then you can enable or disable it from the backend. And if it's a VQ mod, you can go to System, the VQ mod manager, and here you can have VQ mods enabled. This is actually a better way to customize your template, because if you don't want to add another theme to MijoShop, so you just want to use the default template, the theme, you can here assign, make XML modifications. So all MijoShop won't touch those XMLs. Of course, the default XMLs will be updated. So if you add another XML edit, it will become available after the upgrade. Here we have the set maintenance also. Those are the files that are cached inside MijoShop. The error log, if you have any, and about the VQ mod manager. So it's a lot easier to show modified through a VQ mod for further use.
So you update the open the MijoShop. Have you updated the new version?
Oh, if you go to the dashboard, it will say you're using the last version or not. And here, if you're not using it, will come a link. It will go to here, and if you wrote the personal ID, you can just automatically server, or let's say you downloaded it, you just choose it and upgrade like every other Joomla component. So let's go back to the dashboard, and let's have a look at the users. Users are actually administrators in OpenCart. So users aren't the buyers, so the customers. That's only a different, and it may become we have also a theme editor or a backup restore. So let's say you want to have other restore another website, you can just make it. Of course, you have also the import export with the CSV, so you can just open it in Excel and directly use it.
Is that only for products or?
It's for the whole. So the products, manufacturers, and if it's assigned to a download or not. And here you have the theme editor. If you want to add a new theme, because you want to directly give notification, you can enable the templates. For example, the payment. You don't like the payment of authorized net. I don't recommend to make modifications on payment, but you don't want to show them the credit card owner text. You just want to put it directly, just a normal text, or the information page, the contact.
So backing up your Joomla site with a Kiva backup?
It won't cause any problems with. It fully supports Kiva. And we have also integration tools. So let's say you are using Virtual Mart and you want to step over to, but you don't want to write all the categories products again. You can just import categories, products, manufacturer, and the images, not orders or the customers. and here you have sales reports. You can look at the orders in total, so you can do your manage your incomes directly, the tags, the products, the customers, and the affiliates. This is for the upgrade, and this is support. So questions, you can go to documentations, video tutorials, to go to the ticket system to ask a question. And that's basically MijoShop. Any questions? Yes.
Some people now do the Google marketing with, you know, if, you have to put a lot of Google code
Yeah.
to your shopping cart and
Yeah.
enable the e-commerce to
Exactly.
and then go to the thank you page and put another code set to the
Yeah, you have the extension of the Google marketing, so it enables on and you can see it on the analytics page of Google himself. So everything will be integrated well.
Okay.
Any other? Yes.
I would like to ask about the reward system. For example, can we have not just one type of reward points? For example, we have too many manufacturers. And we don't want, for example, 10 cameras from Sony to use these points to buy one free camera from Canon.
Yeah.
It's
You
possible.
can actually add a product with 0 price and just force people to use 1,000 reward points. In this way, he will add a product to the cart with 1,000 reward points and not by the price.
Yes, but I want, for example, not to buy from other manufacturer. For example, I want to have Sony reward points and Canon reward. Many types of points.
You mean to
It's like
separate them?
Yes, yes.
No, that's actually not possible.
Nor with some extension from OpenCart. It's possible.
I didn't look at though this question, but I'm not sure if it's there, and I don't think it's there because
Because like slowly the new way to e-commerce is like gamification. You can use points and type of points to for
yeah, I understand.
that way I watch with many types of points.
Yeah, you want to have like different types of reward
Yes, yes.
points. I understand. Maybe there is an extension for it. You will have to make some research about it. I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes.
As MijoSoft is an integration to Joomla, are the Joomla modules, I mean the custom modules, the HTML modules,
Yes.
able to understand which of the categories menu I have hit? And so if I hit, let's say, close the display name module only for this menu, and if I hit on menu or something else to display another module, so to control which of the MijoShop categories I have hit.
You mean this page, this module here, and you want to assign it to a page?
No, if you go to Joomla modules,
Yes.
and create a custom HTML module, then you are able to assign it to a menu. Are you able to assign it to a
No.
open cart, let's say, category?
Create the MijoShop category as a menu and assign.
Yeah, that's possible, but you will have to create first, like I have here created MijoShop as the home page. You will have to create that category as a Joomla menu, and then assign it to that menu, that custom HTML. It's only possible that way, but not throughout here. So it's actually looking at the item ID